In one of his most recent roles, Matt Damon plays shoe salesman Sonny Vaccaro as he leads Nike to the signing of basketball legend Michael Jordan. Directed by, and also starring, Ben Affleck, the film marked the 20th time the famous friends have collaborated on a project together. Shop now. Damon loved bringing his idea of Will, a janitor/math prodigy, to life. In fact, after writing the script with Affleck, he broke into tears of joy on the first day of filming. "I think we wrote thousands and thousands of pages. I don't think we really knew what we were doing," he later told Jimmy Fallon. Shop now. Though La Berf was a supporting role in the film, about a teenager solving her father's murder, Damon found ways to make the part his own. The two front buckles on his cowboy hat form the letter B, paying homage to his beloved Boston Red Sox. Shop now. Playing Private Ryan was an isolating experience for Damon, as he was kept away from the other actors and not allowed to attend boot camp training with them, the actor told Hot Ones host Sean Evans. Director Steven Spielberg's goal was to create a feeling of resentment between him and the rest of the cast that would translate on screen. Shop now. As Carroll Shelby, Damon told the true story of the man who dared to race a Ford. He took many steps to transform himself into the car designer, including getting a perm and working with a dialect coach to perfect a Texas drawl. Shop now. While dodging assassins and trying to regain his memory, amnesiac Jason Bourne uncovers deadly secrets. Filming the action-packed movie wasn't easy for Damon. In fact, he had to scale a building himself, without a stunt double. He later called it, "the most grueling thing I had to do." Shop now. The much-anticipated sequel didn't disappoint. Returning to his assassin roots, Damon's character quickly learns it's either kill or be killed, and it was just as difficult to film this movie for the actor as the original. In fact, Damon accidentally knocked out one of his co-stars, Tim Griffin, during an intense fight scene. Shop now. Damon was back in action 3 years later, escaping assassins and piecing together his character's past once again. Not only did the film win 3 Academy Awards, for Best Sound Mixing, Best Film Editing, and Best Sound Editing, but it was also the only Bourne movie to be nominated for an Oscar at all. Shop now. In Damon's last movie as Jason Bourne, his iconic character is drawn out of hiding for the final time. Physically training to play the former CIA operative was much more challenging in his 40s, the actor later admitted, leading to a stricter diet and exercise regimen than necessary for the past films. Shop now. As an astronaut stranded on Mars, Damon was able to explore his emotional side. In fact, he revealed his character's most tearful scene was very much real. Once his co-stars left the set, he played their pre-recorded voices from inside his spacesuit, helping him tap into an isolated mindset. Shop now. Portraying Scott Thorson and his 6-year romance with Liberace was a big task. While Damon was 42 during filming, the real Thorson was actually only 18 when he first met the music star. To help him appear younger, the actor wore a wig for the entire film. Shop now. Perfecting his role as an undercover cop-turned-mob mole took some heavy research. To prepare for the crime drama, Damon worked with a Massachusetts State Police unit out of Boston. He tagged along on routine patrols, studied them through an actual drug raid, and was even taught how to pat down a suspect. Shop now. In this intense star-studded drama, Damon plays a man just trying to survive in a pandemic-ridden world, a story that hit especially close to home once COVID-19 began to spread nearly a decade later. In 2020, the actor and his co-stars released a public service announcement encouraging fans to socially distance and follow CDC guidelines. Shop now. Damon transported audiences back to the 1950s as Tom Ripley, a young, down-on-his-luck man who transforms his world through forgery, lying, and impersonation. The actor, who lost 30 pounds and learned to play the piano for the role, once called this film his favorite of his entire career. Shop now. In this beloved action movie, Damon's character, Linus, acts as an accomplice in the ultimate casino heist. While it's hard to imagine anyone else playing the professional pickpocket, the part was originally meant for Mark Wahlberg, who turned it down to star in Planet of the Apes. Shop now. Damon reprised his role in the sequel, which took the Ocean's gang to Europe for another round of intricate heists. Exhausted coming off of filming The Bourne Supremacy, Damon requested that he have a smaller part this time around. The request was denied, however, and Linus remained a main character in the plot, as the original script intended. Shop now. Another heist, a double-crossed criminal, a group out for revenge, and Damon at the center of it all once again. During one scene set in London, the actor was actually in the middle of filming The Bourne Ultimatum. It ended up being a great coincidence for production that Linus was supposed to be in London too. Shop now. Damon stars opposite Emily Blunt in this heart-pounding romance about a politician and a contemporary dancer. It was difficult filming in New York City, since the actor's lines kept being interrupted by fans. During the scenes at the Statue of Liberty, for example, people kept yelling out Damon's name, causing him to have to redo the take. Shop now. Francis Ford Coppola directed this remake about a lawyer who takes on a fraudulent insurance company. It was Coppola who encouraged Damon to stay in his character's apartment to fully dive into the role. It also allowed cameras to capture unplanned shots of the actor waking up in the morning. Shop now. The actor showed off his athletic side in this powerful tale about Nelson Mandela's quest to unite his country through rugby. To prepare for the role of team captain, Damon trained at the Gardens Rugby Club with Chester Williams, a real member of the 1995 South Africa rugby team. Shop now. For this film, Damon stepped away from his usual action-packed roles to embrace his comedic side. To get into character for the dramedy about an ordinary guy turned police informant, he gained weight by eating takeout and junk food. The experience was really, really fun, he later said. Shop now. Damon plays a father set to defend his daughter, who is being accused of a murder she claims she didn't commit, at all costs. After learning that the intense crime drama was set in Oklahoma, he traveled there to meet with locals and get a sense of the state's culture. Shop now. Though Damon's name wasn't used at all to promote the film, his surprise cameo ended up changing the entire plot. His role in the sci-fi space film was kept secret for a reason. As Christopher Nolan told Inquirer, surprising audiences with Damon's face was meant to comfort them, and make the final twist that much more shocking. Shop now. In one of Damon's more wholesome films, he plays a father who renovates and reopens a zoo with his family. The actor had to keep things more family-friendly than he's used to, as production cut any and all scenes that could potentially earn the project a PG-13 rating. Shop now. Damon stars opposite George Clooney in this film about the oil industry and its harmful consequences. What drew him to the role was his character's complexity. You don't see characters that are this flawed and gray in big-budget movies, because in Hollywood, the last thing they want to do is confuse you, he told Dark Horizons at the time. Shop now. Damon and Affleck acted alongside each other once again in this dramedy about two rebel angels. The part of Loki was originally written for Jason Lee, but plans changed after he had to back out due to scheduling conflicts. The result? Damon got to work with his best friend again. Shop now. In this sweet children's movie, Damon plays the father of a young boy who befriends a goldfish princess. The star-studded cast members, including Cate Blanchett and Liam Neeson, were all performing the English dub of the original Japanese version from the beloved animation house, Studio Ghibli. Shop now. As Knight Jean de Carouges, Damon took things back to medieval France. When King Charles VI makes him challenge his squire to a duel, things get dangerous. The actor and Affleck co-wrote the film, the first script they completed together since Good Will Hunting. Shop now. Set in the year 2154, Damon's character attempts to bridge the wealth gap between those who live aboard a private space station and those who continue to struggle on a ruined Earth. To prepare for the physically demanding role, he trained 4 hours a day leading up to filming. Shop now. Damon plays a gas salesman whose life gets turned upside down after visiting the small town where his company wants to begin drilling. It was meant to be the actor's directorial debut, but he had to step down as director due to time constraints and creative differences. Shop now. In this emotional drama, Damon plays a man who is connected to the afterlife, and the topic of death unites his character and two others in an unlikely way. Director Clint Eastwood wanted Damon in the film so much that he halted production and adjusted the filming schedule just for him. Shop now. In this powerful drama, Damon portrays Mr. Aaron, the teacher of a girl who witnesses, and then has to cope with, a fatal bus accident. The film's director, Kenneth Lonergan, is close friends with the actor in real life and wrote the part specifically for him. Shop now. Damon was in his early 20s when he played Charlie Dillon, an anti-Semitic student at New England's elite St. Matthew's Academy. Because it was such a tense script, director Robert Mandel tried to make the group of young actors feel better by promising them they'd be the next Brat Pack. Shop now. The actor returned to his action roots with this film, about European mercenaries who uncover an army secret and defend the Great Wall in ancient China. To train for his role as an archer, he traveled to Hungary to meet with world champion Lajos Kasai. Shop now. In this film written and directed by George Clooney, Damon plays a member of a platoon who must take back precious art from German thieves. It was the second time he played a World War II soldier, the first was in Saving Private Ryan in 1998. Shop now. Damon stars opposite the late Heath Ledger in this film about con artists who encounter a fairy tale curse. The actors were supposed to have each other's roles, but they petitioned to switch them. Shop now. This modern western tells the story of a young Texas rancher who leaves the Lone Star State for south of the border. The young actor landed the lead after Leonardo DiCaprio hesitated to commit to the film. Producers didn't want to wait on him and signed Damon instead. Shop now. Damon entered the battlefield once again in this movie about an army officer gone rogue. Many Iraq War and Afghanistan War veterans were featured in the film, rather than actors. Knowing they were real veterans, Damon found it difficult to give orders to them and raise his voice on screen. Shop now. Damon tapped into his comedic side again to play a man who purposely shrinks himself to 5 inches tall, expecting to live a life of wealth. The script gave a funny nod to his role in The Martian with the line, "They can shrink people down and fly to Mars." Shop now. And, finally, it's hard to talk about Damon's best roles without giving a mention to his very first on-screen speaking part, as small as it may be. He and Affleck were the only two actors to audition for Steamer, Charles's younger brother. There's a reason Damon was cast over his friend, he said in a 2019 interview with Off Camera. At 17 years old, he was 2 years older than Affleck and would be legally allowed to work overnight. Shop now.